Well, good evening everybody. It is Alex from PSA here again, back with a Triumph Stag. Now this time, you might notice, it is turned round in the garage, and this is because I've finished the far side. All of that's looking good, new metal in it, it's all primed, it's all sealed. I'm happy with everything for now. Now it's time to start sorting out the rust on the driver's side, starting with this section here. Now, I've noticed on the inside it's dripping a little bit into the boot, but that might be because there is, if you can see here, a few holes here and here, and all the way along here, it's starting to rust. Now, this is where the lid that covers the hood sits. So if this hasn't been sealing right, then water's been getting into this channel, potentially getting sitting on the hood as well, and it's just been slowly eroding at this corner here. Now the issue is, this is actually two parts, so you've got this joint here, one part, two parts. I've sort of marked out roughly where I think potentially the cleaning is too, but given I'm probably going to have to spray this side anyway, I'll investigate how far this goes a bit further. But these rain channels will need to get remade, so I will cut majorities out as well. And to do that, I will move the hood into its full upright position. If you were doing a proper strip and build, this would all be out of here obviously, but I've chosen the hard route, and that is move everything out of the way, cover it. So I'll be doing that next, moving this into the right place. Right, well that didn't take very long. We've now cleaned off all the paint, and actually you can see really clearly, hopefully you can see that, this dark region here, that is the bad bit, that's the cancerous bit. And then you can see where the nice good metal is here. It's real clear. You could see that this bit was probably on top of the paintwork. But you can see really clearly where the bad bit is, where we've got a cut out. Now there's potentially some down here, given that the paint has cracked. So potentially some stuff could have gone down there. So I'll keep going here and maybe just do a line down here just to investigate.
Well, good morning everybody, and it is Friday, and I'm back in the garage on this time a snowy day, finishing off this rear section here. Now, the bad metal's been cut away, and if we zoom in a little bit, there we go, we'll be able to see there's actually one piece here, and one piece here, and then a third piece here. Now, all three pieces will probably have to be made separately and built up. And actually, if you do it separately, if you do it in the smaller stages rather than trying to do it all in a big piece, it works out so much easier, so much quicker. But what I might try to do for this one is, because there is this curve here, I might cut a wooden curve to be able to beat the metal around it, so I can match that curve perfectly. And actually, there is also a little dent here, which I could push out from the back. Now, the rain gutter, there we go, here, this one needs replacing, but what I'll do is I'll just cut just that edge off, and then tack on a new vertical piece, because the rest of it's okay, onto here. And so, as I'm going around, slowly bending it onto the piece, and welding it from the back side. This shouldn't take too long, this should only take about an hour or so to do, so we'll get it done this morning. Okay, well it's all cut out around here now, all the rust's gone, a few rough edges, so we're just going to cut that, clean that up with the flapper disc. You could use a regular grinding disc, but a flapper disc is a bit more forgiving. Clean it all up and get it ready for potentially doing some card modelling here. I've got the parts that cut out of here, so I can copy them as well. We'll just clean it up, get it ready for the new panels to be made. Okay, so that's the first pass done with the flapper disc and the wire brush. I'm now going to switch to a chisel sander just to get into these spots in here where the flapper disc and stuff won't get all these burrs and stuff off, and then we're good. This is a silver line one. I think I bought it from, is it Screwfix or Euro Car Parts or something. I think it was about 30 quid, but there's no way that this thing can't get the head tilts by about 10 to 15 degrees in each direction. You've got 6 speeds on the back, on and off, and it's a belt drive. Great little tool, recommend it if you're doing this sort of stuff. Okay, now that's all cleaned up, these are the parts we cut out. If you can see that, yeah. So that's that part. No, there we go. You can see where the rust is on that part. Luckily it still has the edge on it, so we can copy that part. We've then got part of the old rain catch part with the seal in it, which goes in here. Copy that. And also we've got this little real crappy bit here. We can sort of copy that, I guess. But that goes in here, like that. That goes in here. So we'll copy all those parts now on the workbench. Okay guys, so we're over here at the workbench now. You know, I've still got a head torch on, and that is because the light above me isn't working. Right, so we're going to copy this piece first. Now, marking it out around the edge, but leaving enough that I can just cut it back with the scissors, because remember once we put it in there, that hole's probably got a little bit bigger than this has since we've been cleaning it, so allowing a little bit more extra material around the outside to fill that hole, and then we can grind it back, we can cut it back to fit when we're in actually situ. We do also need to remember while doing this piece is that this edge here actually has a fold on it. It actually comes down this way, and this all matches up because this is a separate panel, so we've got to add that on there as well. So don't forget that when you're doing your work. Okay, so there's that first piece done to replicate that rusty one that's come out of there. If you can see it there. So now what we'll do is we'll take this over to the car and just keep working on it then. It might be that this bend is too far one way, so we'll just unbend it, redo it. This bend needs to be tighter, but as a starting point that's pretty good, and so we'll see how it fits the car now. Okay, so quick test fit. We can see that it's actually pretty good shape. It needs to come a little bit further in here. Here's really good. And here, where this bend is here, might not quite be able to see that. I'll zoom in again in a second. But we need to come in just a little bit tighter. And I'll show you that a bit closer now. So we're looking pretty good, but you can see that over on this side, it sticks out a little bit. And then that bend isn't quite tight enough, and actually it sits a little bit proud. So we go back to the hammer and redo that. And then we also need to take down this edge here, so we'll see if we can do it with tin snips. They might not grab. No, they're not going to grab, so we'll use the flapper disc just to take that down. Okay, so now that section is in good enough. This spot here, that'll just be weld, that's fine. Still get pushed into place, but the lines are good. That all fits in there nicely. Now there is one issue, which is this blend here, this bend, isn't quite long enough. So what we're going to have to do when we do this rain gap here is have a little kick up just on the end, just to fill that gap, so that's no problem. Now we're going to come on and do this filler part here, then we'll do this part here, and then we'll start stitching it all together. I'll switch back to a bit of card, Just because it was small and fiddly with the metal, it was a pain. So that fits in there, like that. And that will complete that part. So that's quite good. That's quite a good little fit. So we'll put it into metal now. And then that should fit fine. Okay, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. So you can see the second piece here. And I've actually managed to put a channel on that. I just thought I'd give it a go. But you can see we're sort of building up one piece, second piece, and slowly working our way, building up using magnets to hold everything in there. They're really starting to get there, starting to get the shape back. And we can see how it'll all fit together. Now, once it's all in there, all be welded in obviously, and actually these gaps up here, these gaps here and down the side, they'll all be welded, and then I'll put the groove back in that we see, because it is it's a welded piece. We'll put the groove back in with the disc grinder afterwards, so it looks right, but it's actually one piece welded together. So you get the visuals, but you get the strength and stuff back. Right, okay. So you can see we're starting to get there. Now this will be the template for the bottom of this curve. Now I do have a shrinker stretcher, so actually for this section here, if I cut it here and cut this last section out, make it a bit longer, then I can use my shrinker stretcher to change an L section, which I can bend out a flat sheet, and then stretch this side out to make it curve round and suit that perfectly, and then we can start to weld in over this side. So that's what I'll do. I'll cut this last little bit out probably, sit that in there like that, and then on we go. Okay, so this part is now held in with the magnets, so you can sort of see what we're going for here. All the pieces slowly starting to add up, slowly starting to look like it was before. This one here, I think needs a bit more angling help, but that one's getting there. This one's good. This one's looking very nice here, and that will all weld in very nicely from underneath. Same about this part. So we're getting there. It looks good. Right, well I've just come back from lunch and I've had a change of mind of how I am going to be doing this panel. You can see here what I have done. So I've taken this vertical piece here to fill in this height. You see that? And then we're going to build to that. So these panels that I made earlier, these little sections, I'm going to remove, such as on this little one, this front face, to fill that gap. So that is the first lot of welding, just to get those panels back in. You can see it's a little bit messy in some places, but it's all going to get grounded back, so that doesn't matter. Okay, so we've just finished welding all these bits in, so let's have a look, see where we've got to. So, see here, hopefully that's right. See the channel here. Top panels are in, there's going to be a line put through there, so that looks the same. But all in all, that doesn't look too bad. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Tiny bit more cleaning up. All in all, pretty good.